Yeah.
No, I just.
Are we recording now?
We are
Yeah,
recording now. Just before I forget.
What do you?
Oh my God! Hey, Ric Jones, what are we talking about? What's the plan?
What? What do you want?
What do you want?
What do you want?
Somebody said something good. I forget what. Somebody said something good. Why professional pool is having a hard time making it big, which is kind of what 60 Minutes was about a little bit. We could call this a 60 Minutes episode, really. Talk about what they talked about.
Yeah, it's going to be more than 60 minutes.
All right, well, let me do an intro and then we'll start bullshitting, all right?
Yeah, good.
Hey, everybody, thanks for joining. You motherfucker.
Okay, all right, stop. Everybody, 3-second pause. Then let him get in it.
Hey, everybody, thanks for joining us. This is the Out of Pocket podcast with the Bad Boys. Oh my God, Ric Jones, Kenny Jones, Koby Pilgrim, and the world famous Mike D. These guys got me all screwed up. Today we're talking about, I don't know if you watched the 60 Minutes interview and story, but they interviewed Shane Van Boening and some other folks, and it was a good episode. I think we're going to talk about it and some other things. What's keeping pro pool from breaking into the big time, I guess.
Yeah.
Ric Jones, what do you want to start with, buddy?
Well, I think it starts with tight ass people.
Yeah, can we just stop and forewarning to our listeners. Look, you're not going to like our opinions, but they're the truth, and you just need to suck it up and realize that this sport is not going to support itself.
Yeah, so here I'll point out some key things.
Yeah, tell me.
What just happened, right? And one of the biggest posts I saw on Facebook, or saw the most, was, hey, anybody got a link that I can watch this for free? I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
Cough up $20 goddamn and watch the Moscone Cup.
Yeah.
It's one of the greatest events out there. The production is awesome. I mean, get over yourself and just cough up the $20 and watch it.
And for all those who haven't canceled your subscription after the Moscone Cup, you can go ahead and do that now. after you paid your $20.
I agree completely, Rick. I would like to point out, just so we get kind of all sides of that, I see so many examples of things where money could be made and it's not. I would have paid $25 to have them mail me a Moscone Cup banner with Team USA on it. They could have printed those out for $2, mailed it to me for $1.50, and made $21. You know, there's so many opportunities.
Yeah, no, I think everybody's failing.
Make money that people are not doing. You know?
Yeah. Everybody's failing a little bit. You know, I think. I
just want to point that out.
Yeah, no, I get it. I agree 100%. It pisses me off when people go, well, why isn't pool like golf? And it's real simple. Which one of you guys out there are willing to pay $30,000 a year to be a member at a pool hall?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, think about it. That's really the, you know.
No.
And then they'll come back at you and they'll go, well, why isn't it like, I mean, Jesus Christ, cornhole. Well, okay, here's how it works. ESPN gets paid to do those events.
Yep.
Right.
A college goes in and they pay ESPN and do cornhole. And the reason a college will spend the money on cornhole is because they want all these young people that come in and drink and party, and they'll play that game, and they want to go, hey, look how much fun we're having at our college. Right. So I was arguing with somebody on Facebook about this the other day, and they said, well, I know there's a collegiate pool champion. I said, oh yeah, who is it? What college? How many colleges are there that have pool tournaments?
Right.
I mean, that's a good place to start.
Right.
But when mommy and daddy or the everyday guys out there busting their ass working jobs and going to college, and they're spending 10 to 15 to 30,000 a year to go to that college. Yeah, if you could convince the college to put pool on, that's a great start. That would really help. That puts you out there. But I know in the past,
you lost your train of thought.
The pro events that were on ESPN, those events were being paid to be put on. And then ESPN got all the commercial rights on top of that.
Right.
Well,
I don't think
It's
people
gonna cough
understand
up the
that.
money, dude. I mean, there's not it's tough to get. Moscone Cup is the biggest event by far, televised for pool.
Yeah, pool
Right?
Super Bowl kind of.
This was the biggest year they ever had by far. There were only 2,500 people in the stands. 2,500.
So
Budweiser's not going to show up for 2,500 people. Okay.
did they no?
Right.
Did they sell out all their tickets? There was only
do not know.
2,500 available spots.
I know they extended the seats. I think
Either
originally they
25
only
or
had
2,800.
2,000 seats and they added
Okay.
500.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
I
that
think they
sounds like
sold
it.
all the available spots. So I wonder if they put it in
Originally.
a bigger venue, if more people would go.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, look,
But
dude,
even
10
But-
years
so-
ago, you were only selling 600 seats and they were struggling.
Right, but
Just
we're
go
still not
forward.
going to sell, 40,000 seats.
Yeah,
I just
you're
don't
not
see that
selling
happening
out a
yet.
whole
No, but
building.
you all these little things combined, right? Like right now, the only people supporting pool is the pool industry.
Mhm.
Right.
And if you
That's a
look at
huge
all
issue.
on 60 Minutes, Shane Van Boning sponsors, he's got 6. They're all
6 of
within the pool industry.
Yep.
Right.
Now look at the pool industry. You only got about 4 or 5 companies out there that have the extra money. Why are they going to
So,
cough up all that money?
Right. And really, that's one thing I've always said about, in a funny way, but I mean about banning jump cues. There's only so many things you can sell. They ain't getting rid of jump cues, man. There's only 4 things you can sell, man. It's too late now. And
It
I
would be
kind of feel
stupid.
that way about what you're saying is there's only so many products, man.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, no, we just have to keep kicking in more events. I mean, right now, pool is on the grow. It's growing big time right now. There's more money in pool now than there's ever been. There's more players than there's ever been. There's definitely more tournaments than there's ever been. We're going the right direction, but we got to get rid of the tight asses too. You can't look when they're streaming it and they go, "Hey, kick in $20." If you're not going to cough up $20, you don't want pool to be big. You're full of shit. Don't get on it's the very same people that get on Facebook and go, "Well, why can't Shane make $1 million a year?" Well,
Yeah.
you won't spend $20 to watch him.
Right.
Go to a Major League Baseball game.
No.
Even if you get in to see it for $20, you're going to spend another $500 on jersey, souvenir, a hat, food.
Right.
Supporting
Yeah,
your
right.
team.
I mean,
Yeah.
parking costs you $20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Look,
and
we're doing a Patreon, and I'm trying to get people to pay us $5 to get all this bonus material. That's one
For a year.
mocha, one Starbucks,
Yeah.
$5 a month, $60 a year. Just drink one less coffee a month, right?
So actually, that's like a half a coffee now.
But then I've already
Yeah.
had a couple people go, "Is there any way I can get it all for free?" Come on, buddy. No,
Yeah.
you're not my buddy if you're trying to
It's
pinch me,
It's
man.
the same thing
You're just
happens with
not.
artists, right? Like you want your friend to draw you a cool thing, but like you're never gonna give him a couple bucks. Well, I mean, come on,
Right.
that's make it work, right?
it's
It's the
everything.
Right.
same thing.
It's everything.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a
Yep.
mechanic. Can you come over
Yep.
and fix my car? Oh, you're an
Oh.
electrician. Can you come wire my house? You're a
Yep.
plumber. I mean,
I got a
look,
buddy that's he's an entertainer at Disney Springs. He's pretty
Okay.
good too. And he's got like 7 or 8 albums out and he does all his own original music. He was telling me one time, he's like, "It's insane, dude." He's like, "People won't pay $1 to own a song."
yeah.
Yep.
Like I put it on, he's like, I put it on Spotify or whatever, or whatever service is out there.
Right.
All they got to
Right.
do is buy it for $1, and they don't want to do that. He said,
Yeah.
"And I don't even get the
Uh.
dollar. I get like 40 cents out of that dollar or whatever."
Well, and
Well, I
another
believe
thing
that.
I was gonna say, like right now is sort of the streaming age, and a good majority of the streams are free, and people still get on there and relentlessly
Yep.
bitch. Like, okay,
Yeah.
y'all need to understand all the equipment came out of this guy's pocket.
Yeah.
Right.
All the effort and all that stuff he's paying us to set up, or he's done it himself. It's all that effort's come out of his pocket. I'm like, yeah, we're we might have a bad cable, might have one event might be blurry, whatever, and they
Right.
just run people to the ground because it's not up to your standards, well, it's free.
I
You didn't
had a
pay
guy.
a freaking dumb for any of it. Like,
I had a guy who started arguing with me on Facebook about all this, right? Just the other day. And he goes, "Look, man, I know I spend 10,000 a year on pool." I'm like, I really need an itemized list, dude.
yeah,
Yes.
is he adding in
Yes.
travel costs, bar tabs, food, and hotels?
I want an itemized list. If you're an amateur and you're spending 10,000 a year. Now, because you went to Vegas and played in a tournament, and yeah, that probably cost you 25.
Well, yeah, that was only like 32 hot dogs.
But
10 grand.
Because you gambled another 7,000 while you were there, that don't count.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I agree completely.
I would love to see pool get better and bigger, and we're going that direction. But people got to quit being tight about it.
Yeah.
No,
we're not saying we want your life savings.
No,
but,
no, and players need to merchandise themselves.
Yeah,
I'll tell you. So I've been in the pool world pretty heavy for quite a while, and I can remember sitting like the old Derby City. All the players would sit there and smoke and bullshit out in front of the tournament room, right? And great conversations. I wish we would have recorded all that stuff.
No kidding.
But I remember one time somebody said, "Well, Jeanette Lee, she's like the most popular person in pool." And one of the pros, and I'm not going to drop any names to, throw these people under the bus, but they said, problem with that bitch is she just promotes herself. And all I can think is, you know what? You can say that, but she's the most well-known person in pool when you go to the public, right? Just your standard public. So if you guys all went and promoted yourselves, just like Jeanette Lee promoted herself, pool would be huge right now.
At least be bigger.
Right?
It's kind of one of the many.
We need personalities, not bad ones. We just need people to promote themselves in the pool world. Go out there and shake the hand. One of the greatest pictures I've seen in the last 2 or 3 years is Jason Shaw pointing at the parents or somebody that's taking the picture, and he's got the little kid in his arm, right?
Okay, that's cool.
It's like, yeah, and the kid's like, I don't know, 10 or 11 years old or whatever.
Right.
And he's a total pool fan.
Lino, the little Asian kid, right?
Yeah.
Lino.
That's awesome.
Right.
I remember that.
Those are the things. That's what we need, right? We need the Jason Shaws to do that. We need a lot more Jeanette Lees to be out there promoting themselves to the players, and take the opportunity when you're at a pool tournament and just go over and sign autographs and talk.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw Corey Deuel, and a lot of people don't like Corey. I don't care. I seen Corey Deuel was playing a wheelchair guy, and the guy just wanted to play Corey Deuel. He thought Corey Deuel was the shit. Corey Deuel goes over and grabs a chair, sits down in it to shoot his shots.
Oh, that's
and I
cool.
thought that was cool as hell, right?
Right.
It's those kind of things we need the pros to do, and we also need the fans to participate. Or it's just not gonna get as big if the fans aren't out there participating, because this is not a rich man sport.
Yeah.
You guys aren't we're not gonna have a bunch of rich guys paying 30,000 a year to be a member of so and so's pool hall, right?
Well, I mean, you've been in it long enough. You could probably name a good majority of all the events around here has been backed by probably no more than 2 handfuls of people. Jay Hilford's name gets thrown around.
Jay Hilford was a
Mark
big
Griffin.
backer. Mark Griffin spent
huge
a ton of money.
Yeah.
On pool.
And there's others.
Greg Sullivan with Diamond has put a lot of money back into pool. Predator puts money into pool now.
Yeah, Mike Littman's put a lot into pool.
Littman's put a lot.
Littman definitely.
But I agree, the list is short. Koby, the point is that the list is short.
Right. As these things grow, right, as more and more people do it, then more and more people are going to be willing to do it.
And honestly, I think he's not at the same level per se, but John Barton, he kind of deserves a little spot on the list.
Yeah.
You know, he's
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
his part
Look,
to his
so
to the level he
Royce,
can. He's doing
Right.
his part.
So Royce Burnell with one of the founders of OBQs, we used to sit and talk a lot. And about, well, I guess it'd been about 15 years ago, he was coughing up some money and sponsoring some players. The problem is though 15 years ago, now some of this is starting to change, but 15 years ago, the top players were just kind of spoiled brats. You know, sponsor would cough up a couple cues and then pay their way to a tournament. And then that player would sell the cue, right? And then they'd get another cue. So they were kind of just, you know, enjoying their life, or, you know, being selfish about it, I guess would be the easiest way to explain it, right?
Along on what
just cruising along with no end game in town, right?
Right.
So Royce was sitting there telling me one day, he says, I can fix pro pool. I said, really? I mean, I got some ideas, but I'd love to hear yours, right? And he said, well, first we're gonna have to get rid of all the pros. And I thought, wow, that's kind of. He said, but no, he says, look, I'm serious, dude. These guys are spoiled. You know, I told a particular pro, I'll pay all your entries to all the events. Here's a list of the events. And then he only went to 3 out of the 9 events. He said, and I'm paying his way. You know, it's just now
I've heard of that
starting
before.
to change, right? Because as more and more,
there was a pro fluent player that I know was entered in a tournament by his sponsor, and he didn't show up for the tournament.
Right?
Oh yeah, no, I've seen that happen a bunch of times.
Sponsor's going, what in the hell's going on, man? I mean, I paid for your spot. Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, and a lot of this is changing, but I'm just trying to give some people some perspective of what held it back. I mean, I got it on DVD, and maybe we could release it or whatever, but there was the big event in Vegas where they decided to hold an event, and it was rigged.
It was rigged, yeah.
Because the players just wanted that one big payout.
I thought we weren't going to talk about
the big picture, right? So, and they clearly.
That's the one we don't talk about.
We don't. Yeah, we try not to. We try to let that one fade away.
It's in the past, man. Let it stay dead.
Well, okay. Let me just say for people listening, though. Long story short, all the pool players got together and bet on the worst player in the tournament. And then they dogged it and made sure that player won the tournament.
Yeah.
And the finals,
and it's on YouTube somewhere. I don't know what to look up, but it's on
got
YouTube.
It on
you can watch the match.
Yeah.
And the sad part is that really put a ball and chain on pool.
Yeah, that did some real long-term damage.
And
we're gonna be running from that one for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't want to do all the talking, but I feel like I know a little bit more about this than everybody else.
Of course.
Some of the things are, look, here's a great example. I was telling Koby before we fired this up, about 10 years ago, I sent out a letter because I thought, hey, if the VNEA, TAP, APA, BCA, and that's pretty much was all the big dogs back then. There's a few more leagues that have popped up. But if we all got together and sat down in a room, all the pool leagues, just the pool leagues, we're not even talking about pros, just the pool leagues got together and agreed to play on this table. And I hope, obviously, I wanted it to be me, would go in and set up tables in Vegas once instead of the tables being set up 4 different times, right? If I go in and I set up the tables once, I could charge everybody half as much as they've been paying. They would save a crap ton of money. I would make a shitload of money, right?
Right.
But the negotiating power of all those leagues, if you went to the biggest casino in Vegas and said, look, here's what we want. I don't want to pay for nothing, but I will bring you 2,000 to 6,000 players in this building every day for 2 months.
Right.
That's huge negotiating power, right?
Right.
But when I made the phone calls and emails, All of them,
Nothing.
not interested. Not interested. Right? Because and this is the same problem with the upper end of the pool world too right now, is everybody thinks they no, I don't want you getting in my business. You know, they don't
Right.
want to share their little corner of the pool world, right? If we could get people together and sit down in a room and go, look, we can all make money. We could all make this grow. But let's structure this to protect ourselves like there's just a way you could do it, right? The negotiating power alone, and then working together, everybody would save money, which would give us money to put back into pool and
Right.
really do something big. Probably won't ever see that happen.
Yeah, that's a long shot.
But that's
I think
kind of
one
what
the
we're starting to
positives of that,
see,
too, would
right?
be somebody could go to Vegas and stay in Vegas for a month if they wanted, and be a part of multiple leagues. You know,
Right.
it would make that possible for people that wanted to do that.
Yeah.
And there are people that want to do that.
But the money's saved, and then the people that are doing the work could make more money, right? I mean,
Right.
it all could pile up. And
Well,
right
think
now,
of like
we have the
hustling.
same problem with the
The
pro.
hustling folks could rent a house there in Vegas for the whole month and just be there for the whole month and get everybody all at once. Yeah,
And it
everyone
would
would
be
benefit.
way
Yeah,
cheaper.
you save all the travel back and forth.
Right.
You don't have to carry
course.
merchandise back and forth, all the work.
Right.
Right. I mean, I think everybody in the pool industry would be way happier.
Of course. Yeah.
And the negotiating power would be so big. But, you know, I mean, somebody puts on a tournament now, and we're still looking at the same problems, right? Like this person puts on a pool tournament, they go, oh, okay, look, I don't want to see all these other sponsor logos all over your stuff. All right. You can't have the big logo because then they're getting free advertisement on this.
Right.
Why not
That is the
just
thing.
all sit together and go, okay, look, how do we make sure everybody gets a piece of the pie? Instead of us, you know, everybody stealing a little piece of the pie and hoarding it to themselves, right? Just a thought.
That's one of the way I feel like, again, that goes back to the limited number of products, and therefore sponsors stepping on each other's toes. You know, cues. Well, you can only get one cue sponsor. Okay, tips. Well, you only get one tip sponsor. You know, I mean, you can pretty much count on one hand, and you're out of stuff. You're out of products. You know.
Well, and the thing is too, right? It's almost everybody that's in the pool industry is because they love pool. Right?
Oh, I agree.
It's not like well, you know, I just needed a damn job and there was an ad in the paper and now I'm making cues for a living, right? I mean,
Right.
Generally, it's a little less likely. That's probably occasional, you know.
Yeah, very, very, very few.
Fell into
Right?
it accidentally.
Well, I agree.
Yeah, that's. I think those are the holdups for pool, but I'm happy to know that pool is going in the right direction right now. That makes me feel good because everybody out there that says, "Well, I wish pool was as good as it used to be," every one of those people are idiots. They have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Just go back 20 years ago, 40 years ago. Pool was not as big as it is now.
I have to wonder if we're still waiting for something like the camera on poker that shows the whole cards. If there's some way to make it more watchable. You know, I don't know what it is, but I've thought about the
it's a tough
technology
haul,
where
man, because
the video fast forwards it until it sees the guy bend over to shoot, and then it goes to regular time. But as soon as it's players standing upright, it automatically starts fast forwarding. You know, anything to make it a little more watchable, man.
yeah, but if you go back to poker, I don't think it was the Hold'em camera that made poker. It was a nobody won the tournament. That's what happened. Go back and look at when
that guy won the big tournament.
When poker went bam, I mean it blew up.
What was that guy's Cash Money or something was his name? He has an ironic name, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Moneymaker.
Moneymaker, that's right.
And we all know the damn name.
But the thing is a nobody won.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you're right.
Yeah.
You had video poker really
Well, I would say there was a third thing. And
satellites.
No,
like I could go enter a $10,000 tournament because I could go win online a $20 entry, and now I got a $10,000 entry into this tournament that this nobody won,
Right. Well,
and it could happen, right?
I mean, they did come out with the RFID cards, so we could see everybody's hand. That did make a huge difference.
It did. It made a difference. So I'm just saying though, if it would have still just been the pros winning, I
Yeah,
don't think it would have taken off like it did.
right.
If you didn't
And
have the
now
online
everybody
gambling,
watches just to see Phil Hellmuth be a baby.
right? I think,
Well-
yeah, but look, dude, we can have the same thing in pool.
Yeah, we got lots of baby pool players.
Here's the one thing, and I'm not even sure. I wanna
Literally,
give this
last
up.
week is the exact example of that. How many people
guess-
watch hoping that would have happened?
Let me
Yes.
just make my point though. I'm saying, do you know how most pool players feel about watching one pocket? That's how regular Joes feel about watching pool.
I'm gonna show you how to
I
fix
think it
that.
would be nice if we could find a way that made it a little more entertaining and watchable.
Okay, I'm gonna show you how to fix that.
Tell me.
Look, everybody, look. If you're watching this right now, here's what you need to do. Join us on Patreon and join us. Go and subscribe to badboys.tv and subscribe and hit the bell, because we got a tournament coming up in March. And if everything plays out right, we're going to do a little team event. And I got some ideas we're going to run with it. And we ain't got no money. And we're going to make it look really cool and entertaining. So check
that's
us
cool,
out.
man.
I'm
Sounds
not going to
good,
give it
man.
away now.
Sounds good.
But-
Can you say what part of the country, Ric Jones?
Yeah, we're going to be in Oklahoma. We're going to be at the Apache Casino.
You coming, Mike D?
I want an
I-
Oklahoma team and a Texas team to play each other. We've already picked the
Kobe,
Oklahoma
I
coach.
go anywhere Ric Jones will take me.
Ric Jones. We need to make that happen.
Oh, we
Yeah,
have to make
it's
that
it's
happen.
my understanding
I got
I'm
a big
going to that. Yeah,
plan.
it's my understanding I'm going to that, Kobe. Yeah, I'm down to commentate, man. Ric knows my story, man. You get me out there, let me play in some tournaments, man, and I'll talk. I can talk it. Talking's easy.
I got some plans.
So
We're gonna do
anyway,
some
There you
cool
go.
stuff.
See,
backing
now
up
we
a
got
sec.
more people coming in because they want to meet the world famous Mike D.
That's right. World famous.
That's
Mike.
right. He'll be doing autograph sessions from 3 o'clock to 4:30 every day during that event.
Although
I'll
I
go
gotta
to
say
5 if
this,
needed. I'll go
When
to 5
I-
if needed.
I did call him out in Vegas and he ran. Like, hey, if you ever wanted to meet the world famous Mike D, he's in our
Oh.
Slack booth. Run over and
Oh.
get his autograph.
Oh,
Tell him
yeah,
you like his content. And he disappeared so freaking fast.
Dude,
Oh,
Dude,
got-
if you
I
ever
got you.
quit
because of the
playing
look
pool,
on
you
people's
could be a
faces,
magician.
they feel bad. They don't know who I am. They're like, I don't know who that
Oh,
guy
I
is.
got
You're
you,
not
dude.
supposed
I
to know who I
got you.
am.
So I got those walkie-talkies with the little earbud, the little FBI little
Yeah.
wire that goes down the neck. I'm gonna put 2 guys in suits and have them walk behind you with that shit on.
Oh, shit. Hey, did you guys watch Shane Van Boning's 60 Minutes?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He said he's not interested in gambling. Would you consider
Well,
his big money matches gambling, or do you think what he's saying is he doesn't like scuffling for the action at the pool hall, and that those are kind of 2 different things?
yeah,
I
Totally
would say they're
different
2 different things.
Yeah.
Totally
Yeah,
different
no, I
thing.
would
A
agree with that.
matchup is guaranteed. I mean, the way they do it now,
Of
you're
course.
not hustling.
yeah. I think he was
Right.
talking. He doesn't want to do the deceptive type of trying to,
Oh yeah.
Well, you just don't
He
wanna
doesn't
go
want to
match
yell
up
at
with a
anybody at
shooting
3 in the
ball.
morning. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
I think the 60 Minutes people didn't quite understand what he meant when he said he doesn't want to gamble. And I think
Right.
Facebook will be flooded with
It
Shane says he
already
don't
is.
gamble. What?
It,
He didn't
yeah,
mean
it
like
already
that.
is.
He
Yeah,
meant
but that's
they're
not what
hearing
he's
an
talking.
argument at 3:30 in the morning, and Shane's like, "Yeah, I don't gamble, man." He
yeah.
meant, but he means if your backer wants to put up 10 grand, Shane's there and it's his cash.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
see, it's not. It's not. So what Shane does is not gambling.
That's
That's a
competing.
matchup.
It's one-on-one competing.
It's matchup. That's what it.
It's
That's the
matching
big
up.
difference. Back when you were gambling, there was a hustle with it. There was a nobody knew each other.
I
You
agree.
didn't know if you were going to make it out of the bar to your car. You kind of walked backwards to your car, right? True story. We're at Sandy Lanes. It's so funny. I'm watching this dude play some people, and then he acts like, oh, dude, I don't have my wallet. whatever, you know, and my brother's with me and I'm telling him, I'm like, watch this dude. I'm really good at observing shit and catching weird things, right? And this dude, they talk and go at it for a while, and then the other guys left. And me and my brother over there playing, this dude comes over and he's like, hey, you want to play for some money? Now I'm thinking, okay, I'm pretty sure you just told them you couldn't find your wallet. But you're kind of a jerk, and I know I can crush you, so let's give it a swing, right? So I play this dude. And we only played like a race to 3 for $50. And then he ain't got the money. I'm like, yeah, piss off, dude. So you know how you went out the back door of Sandy Lane? So you had that long
the
walk
long
along that
corridor.
last lane, right?
Yeah.
And then you go out the back door,
course.
and my car was out there, and I had a little Chevy Monza. And we get in the car, my brother's in the passenger seat, and I'd been in the military for a little while, so me and my brother hadn't hung out very much together. And this guy comes and he knocks on the window. I'm like, what the hell? So I roll the window down about halfway, and he goes, hey, give me my money. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, man, I beat you. Give me my money. I said, I am not putting up with your shit, dude. And I reach out, I point over to my brother, I go, get under that seat and give me my goddamn gun. And my brother freaks out, dude. He's like reaching under the seat, right? And this dude takes off running. Well, I didn't have no gun. But I think, you know, to me, that was gambling.
Right.
That kind of shit.
Right.
When you talk about gambling, that's gambling. What these pros are doing today is matching up. They know who they're dealing with.
Even so far as
pick the rules.
Even so far as that, a lot of times, money wise, there's literally what they call a corporation. There can be 5 guys, there could be 10 guys that went in on coming up with $25,000 as an example.
Right.
And you hear what the bet is and you think it's amazing. Well, when you really look into it, there's a corporation of guys all making that happen that are splitting the risk, which doesn't make it any, I'm not saying that cheapens it, but I'm just saying there's a backstory that's pretty complicated and pretty business-like, which is kind of what Ric's saying.
Yeah, no, it's real now. Back then, you know, I mean, gambling is not, to me, is just, you never know what's happening. But
I agree.
You know, matching up now, dude, it's
they're different categories.
They got rules. Somebody else is holding the money. You know, the players probably never even touch the money. In all honesty,
well, I think social media helps a lot, man, because you can, if somebody ditches you and doesn't pay off, there's 2 pros where the older pro owes the younger pro money. And we all know who those guys are. You know what I mean? That guy's owed that other guy a lot of money for a long time. And it's kind of the joke of the pool community that guy hasn't paid off.
Yeah.
I heard that got squashed.
I don't think so. I saw that.
It might be Mike D and his crazy Asian Yakuza buddy, sort of same thing. Hey, man, just buy me lunch. We'll call it even.
Yeah, Yakuza's Japanese, but and still, whether they're still friends and they pieced it out isn't really that guy still didn't pay. You know,
well, that's what I was about to say. That's the other part of.
Hey, CC still owes me $130, man.
Pool has a major dark side. I mean, there's a whole road littered with this guy took money and run on it. Hell, we've already covered those situations in part just since we started doing this podcast. And that's not even tapping into all the times it's happened in the past.
Right.
You know? And that's why it needs to be more mainstream, because the players deserve protection from that.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that's
cool
part of what's helping pool right now too, right? Is you have these big matchups and they're being streamed. I think is starting to raise awareness, right? So
definitely,
I think pool is definitely, the internet is definitely helping pool. And it's helping the future of pool big time.
Right.
Because all these junior kids are learning how to play the game. They don't have see
they're too good.
Pool for guys like me and Mike. Here's how you got better. You spent money, you lost money, and while you were getting your money taken, you had to be watching to learn. Because they weren't telling you.
Yeah.
You had to take the ass whooping and pay attention and remember what happened. That's how you learn how to play pool.
I would take that even farther, and I would say in the 20s, 30s, and 40s, pool players literally took trains all around the country so that they could watch different players that they had heard about through the grapevine play, because that was the best way to learn. I give the example of watching Efren Reyes shoot a shot where the object ball's close to the rail and he goes cue ball off the rail first. Seeing Efren's body language when he shoots that is worth $1 million, because you can see he's been doing that shot since he was 12 years old,
Right.
and you should probably go fucking practice it, because you rattle it every time. It ain't supposed to be a hard shot. And that's just an example of seeing somebody do it in real life is worth a lot sometimes. Players literally went all the way around the country on trains to just watch. Now you get on YouTube, you can watch anybody you want for hours and hours. It's a huge advantage.
Well, and you got the technology to watch yourself, which is massively helpful to your game.
Right.
You'll be like, what was I
100%.
doing with my elbow there? What the hell?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I was
Right.
gonna say earlier. So some of the things that I think will help pool and are currently at right now, but going forward is the accessibility of the internet for sure. Stream matches, you can learn anything you want basically. But
Right.
the other thing, and this is going back, we were talking earlier, one of the things that it feels like we're missing that like poker had was the personalities, like the characters
No, we
really
got those.
like we have them, but like you
But
don't.
we
had the 60 minutes episode on Shane, but like when's the last time there was like a documentary that really kind of went in depth on someone falls?
Actually,
there's not much of that, and
yeah, very few.
Not much of
60
a,
Minutes did one over a guy a long time ago from Texas. I don't remember his
Right.
name.
Yeah.
But it,
The overweight guy. What's his name?
Danny Basavage?
well, no, this was like Puckett or something.
The something
Oh,
kid.
yeah.
Kid
Yeah,
Delicious.
Yeah,
Kid Delicious.
he's been
Yeah.
covered too.
Kid Delicious. Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, right, is so pool had this pool starts off wrong, right? It's just men. Women can't come into the pool halls. And then you had the
Right.
gambling, and it was very seedy. And if you screwed around somebody or they thought you screwed around, they broke your fingers, right? They even made movies about doing that shit, right? So we started off wrong. And then when things started to get where we're at now, on our way here, we kind of went, oh, let's don't show this person
Yeah.
missing a shot, or let's don't show. I mean, dude, there was a time when I didn't think pros missed
yeah,
because
Right.
they didn't show that on TV, right? Then I went
Right.
to a pro match and I'm like, oh my God, dude, I'm not as bad as I thought because that sucker just missed the easy shot, right?
Yeah. I agree.
But then they worked really hard on trying to hide the seedy part of it, that they also started knocking out the personalities and stuff, which people would get into, right?
all the things that make pool
So,
accessible to people.
I mean,
who
look at
would
when
not
pool
be
when
in it.
pool was big on TV, which was really not at all, but it was Minnesota Fats and Willie
CJ
Moscone. And Willie, those two would just bark at each other, right? And people enjoyed the hell out of that.
Right.
So then we get to all these other tournaments and stuff, and there's this and that, but I think now pool is starting to look cleaner and safer for the youth, right?
Yep.
Way more women are playing. Like, we're definitely headed in the right direction.
Oh, I
I
agree.
think now it's just a matter of,
Pedal
hey,
down on all the good things.
we got a merchandise product for the players. We got to get the players to have a personality, which I think Matchroom's working on.
I think they do.
I don't agree with all the personalities they're trying to create. However,
Yeah.
that's my judgment. We got to
Right.
cater to the world.
Yeah, if
right?
if it works, it
So
works,
we need
right?
the arrogant player. We need the flashy player. We need the talkative woofing player. We need all of that so that we can bring in all fans to watch and get into
Right.
it.
I told Mark Griffin years and years ago, I didn't agree with everything you're doing, but I really appreciate that you're trying to lead people somewhere, and I'll follow you, man.
Yeah.
I like, pool is so in such disarray sometimes. Anybody that stands up and says, follow me, I kind of respect that. And I feel that way about Matchroom. I don't agree with everything they do. I don't agree with everything Emily Fraser does, but I respect that they're trying to do something, because nobody ever
doing
seems to be
something.
trying to do anything. except
Right.
bitching.
Yeah.
And they are definitely putting their money where their mouth is.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
They have a plan and they're willing to put their money down to, all right, let's see if it works.
Yeah.
And that's
I
where,
want to give an example. I'd like to give an example of the money issue. And this is all of us. If you on the way to league stop by McDonald's to eat because it's cheaper to eat at McDonald's than it is at your league place, and then you get a Pepsi at your league place, you're part of the problem. And that's me too. I'm not pointing fingers, but if you're listening to this and that rings true or you recognize who I'm talking about, that's what I'm saying. If you go to a pool tournament on a Saturday afternoon and when you get hungry, you leave to go get something to eat someplace where you know it's less expensive, you're part of the problem. You are.
Or you just sit there and drink nothing but water.
yeah, or
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
You know,
so
I mean,
when I was just old enough to get in the bars, finally, I mean, it'd been shooting
that
pool for a
yesterday?
few years. Yeah, yesterday. And, you know, like I knew all the bars around town had a free pool day. They were never on the same days. So I can, all right, Sundays, the day we go to Spirits, and Monday, we're going to go to the Star because
Hell
it's
yeah.
free pool on those days. But you always look forward to, well, Wednesday we go to Wall Street. The cool thing about Wall Street, sodas are free. So now I don't have to spend any money. I could go play pool and get to drink something, you know.
Dude.
And
Every one of us.
but I was
Every
broke
one
as
of
shit
us.
anyway. I wasn't doing it because I was cheap. I was broke.
Every one of us and everybody that's watching this in the first month it's out. We've all found a sock or a bunch of napkins tucked into the corner pockets of tables.
Yeah.
Right.
So they didn't have to
Or
pay the
worse.
extra 50 cents once, you know,
I
to
got-
start a new
Right.
game or some shit.
I,
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you
And
just
that-
knew the
all
whole
that-
shoe polish trick, you wouldn't have had to do that.
Yeah, all that shit, dude. All that shit it just holds pool back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I agree.
it does.
I agree.
Ours not going to get the best equipment if you guys aren't spending the money. You know,
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
I've had two of my very own businesses, so I know as a business owner, we don't make as much money as people think you do. Right? As soon as you own your own company, then all your friends want shit for free or super discounted. Yeah, I
the
feel for
friends deal.
everybody that's been in the pool world and then opens a pool hall, the John Bartons, the Joey Grays,
Right.
they're gonna find out who their friends really are. Because hey Joey, man, come on.
it's tough.
Can you
Well,
open the table for a couple hours?
I was gonna
right? I
say,
mean that kind of shit.
having worked on tables, like I level all the tables like every term all the time. Going into a pool hall and paying for table time hurts my soul a little bit, right? Like I know I should,
Yeah.
and it's the right thing,
Yeah.
but it's like, oh man, I'm paying for table time. Boy, that's a weird one, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
it's a thing.
Quit being tight asses. You want pool to be big, quit being a tight ass.
Yeah.
If you're not being the tight
One
ass,
of many things.
I promise you have friends that are being tight asses. Tell them to quit being tight asses. If we all can start showing respect and then post good things, quit posting negative shit. If you want to be negative, send it in a private message to whoever you're pissed off or irritated with.
That might have helped. That would have been a good idea.
Ruined your whole week because you were watching that match or you bet on it. Send them a private message. Everything you put out on Facebook, put out positive stuff. That's how pool can grow.
Well, then, good. That's the deal. Going back to sponsors and all of that, and the players need to understand that the second you put that sponsor logo on you, you're an ambassador for that company.
Yep.
So you're still required to act a certain way. You know, I mean, go down the line. How many people have lost?
I could give a great example of why pooling where it's at, and real simple. If you log into our YouTube channel,
we'll make it bonus. It'll be
go
in
through the
Patreon.
videos and watch how many people have watched the video and how many people hit the like button. And we pound people. Please hit the like button. We'll have 600 people watching and 50 likes. All you got to do is hit the like button. Right? So that we can go to sponsors and go, look, this is how many people are really paying attention.
Right.
It's insane to me, and it'd be the people that are too lazy to hit the like button, or too lazy to hit the share button.
Right.
Right? We like to joke on our streams. It's like, hey, when you get up and go to work, just put on Bad Boys TV and let it cycle through while you're at work. Right?
Yeah, no kidding.
You know, but
It helps
it's
us out.
true. If you want Coca-Cola and you want Anheuser-Busch to sponsor pool, that you want the big companies to do it, you got to hit the like button. You got to hit the subscribe button, because we're little, I'm not worried about it. But all these other companies that are trying to do things for pro pool or even the amateur pool, when you can go to them and go, look, here's millions of likes, millions of views, millions of shares, then you get them interested. I mean, there are people making a living on TikTok, getting paid sponsorship from Coca-Cola for bullshit. Like, they're just going, hey, how many states are there in the US?
Yeah.
Right? And whether this person answers it right or wrong is irrelevant. But there's 14 million views on this guy's TikTok, and everybody's sharing the shit out of it. So Coca-Cola goes, hey, here's $10,000, wear a Coca-Cola shirt all year or something, right?
Right.
Yep.
If you want that to happen, you got to put in the effort. That's why pool's not big. So if you're asking why pool's not big, check your damn self. Are you hitting the like button? Are you hitting the subscribe button? Are you sharing the videos? Are you telling your friends that are assholes to do the same? That's what I got to say about it.
Right. No, I agree.
No, I mean, and that's what it starts at the very found. It starts at that and works its way up. It's trickle up.
That was my rant. You guys can rant for a while.
Yeah.
Man. I talk too much.
Did you guys see Derby City Classic on the 60-minute show?
Yeah, I was there.
That was exciting,
there.
wasn't it? Yeah, that was exciting. It was neat to see.
I knew we weren't going to make the video cut, dude, because when they came up, when they followed Alex up to the desk and they had the camera pointed right in my face, I'm like, I just reached out and went, excuse me. Trying to run a tournament. I don't want to be on the big screen.
No, I remember them going around filming though. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was cool.
Yeah,
it was cool. It's good for pool.
I remember them being in the way a couple times. Yeah, that I remember that. Yeah, right where I needed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but you know the only critique I would have about the 60-minute thing was they kind of left it on a note of, pool. You know, I mean, it wasn't real, like a positive message, other than hey, Shane's good and they're bringing in some youth, but pool.
Yeah, and it wasn't. If you want to see more about this culture, go to your local pool hall or seek it out. They just ended.
Right. Yeah. No, it was just like a little bit, and I wish they ended it on a positive note more than a okay, see you next week. No,
they should have ended with Jason Who. That would have been funnier.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yes.
No offense, Jason.
I thought Shane came off really good though. Shane came off really mild and not overly confident or cocky. I think he represented himself well.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. No, I like his Jason Who.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and there's a lot of people out there that don't know that those two do that to each other all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, they torture each other.
So I've seen them talking like best friends at Derby City Classic, standing next to each other for 20 minutes at a pop, and you can tell those guys have spent a lot of time around together. They definitely they're friends.
Yeah, you know what I like about those guys, right? That group of high level players, they're good friends, and then when they get on the table, it's war until the match is over, and then they're friends again. I mean, if you look at the Moscone Cup and how it ended, they all went, shook hands. They were very, that was great.
They felt bad. Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and Shane does have a pretty comical side to him because at Derby, he was shooting a match, and the kid next to him, a kid, younger kid, you know, he drew like, I think, DeLuna or something like that. And he was sitting there waiting, and DeLuna wasn't at the table yet. And you could see he's all super excited. I'm playing a big name pro. Where's he at? You know? And Shane just like nudges him on the shoulders, like, hey, go put him on the clock. You know?
Yeah.
DeLuna's playing on the freaking TV table in a different
Right.
division. It's just like 9-ball and 1-pocket. DeLuna's playing
Right.
1-pocket or something. You know, so his 9-ball match is on hold, but we've forgot, you know, so much stuff goes on. We haven't caught that and told this kid,
Right.
hey, it's going to be a minute until he comes up to the desk and put him on the clock. And then you look across the room, and Shane just got
giggling.
this shitty grin on him. It's like, you know exactly what you're doing, you little bastard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's funny.
that is funny.
It is kind of funny. You know, they all, yeah, people need to get to know some of these pros.
The reality is, yeah, a lot of these players are a lot more characters than a lot of people realize. You know, like
Yeah.
being at the tournament desk, you know,
Yeah.
we interact with them all the time. Some of them are, you know, difficult, especially after they lose.
I will
But
tell
you know, there again, there's a lot of risk in our culture today. There's a lot of risk on their hands. I think they're afraid to have too much character, because one wrong thing that offends the right people and they lose their sponsorship. You know, and they're already like minimal sponsored already. So
Right.
there's, you know,
it's a little piece of it.
Walking on eggshells.
Well, and I think it's up to the sponsors to. The problem is everybody in the industry is struggling, right?
Yeah, but you don't want to risk putting them in that position,
right? But that's what I'm saying is every little company is really struggling. Even the ones that are going out and going, hey, I'll sponsor you. Maybe there's 2 or 3 that can afford to actually do it. So
Yeah.
the other guys are like, hey, I'll sponsor you, and they're tight to make it happen. But wouldn't it be great if the sponsors would just sit down and go, hey, here's what I'd like you to be able to do. Have some character, but don't touch these subjects. Don't do, you know, just kind of lay out a map, right? And I think a lot of them have been afraid to do it, or they just, so many of these sponsorship deals are handshakes. Right?
Yeah.
The pool world just hasn't caught up with the corporate world yet. We need to all start treating it like it's an industry that we want to save and grow. And yeah, if you're out sponsoring a player, any of you, just put something in writing. Give the player the knowledge of what they can get away with and do, and what they can't do. And then everybody's protected. And then you open the door. I think there's a lot of people running around going, well, I don't know what I could do. I can't afford to lose that sponsor. And the sponsor's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
I want players with character. I want attitude. If I'm going to sponsor somebody, I want people to know who it is. Now, I don't want them to know who it is because they did some kind of Kanye West bullshit, but I want them to know because it's more Gallagher comedian kind of stuff, right?
Yeah. and not the guy
you
walking
put a mask
around
on and start calling yourself,
that.
yay, we're done. The contract's over.
Yeah, no, we're gonna Adidas our way right the hell out of there. Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, who's on table 1? He's wearing a mask. What the hell's going on?
Rick, I know we don't have the biggest fan base, but you might have to explain to a lot of people who Gallagher is.
No, that's gonna make a lot of sense. Give it about it. When this goes up, that'll be like a couple weeks old, probably.
Dude.
Yeah.
No, I feel like that one's gonna stick around for a bit.
Yeah.
So in all serious though, if you're watching this show, you want to get out there and get to know these pros, hang out with these pros, Derby City is the tournament to go
Derby
to.
City is
seriously,
the one to go to.
If you're into pool at all, just spend the money, make it happen. Derby City is
a sacred place, is what it is.
Yeah.
For
it's
sure.
My Disney World of pool.
It's Oz, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
No,
is
I
it
agree.
fair to say that a lot of the players do give lessons as a way to
A lot
make
of them
money?
started to. For a long time, they weren't, and they didn't
Yeah.
want to. But now, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. I think pool's going the right direction.
Yeah. So now, I mean,
Like,
not
even
only
back in the day, man, they didn't want to teach you shit.
right, not
That
only
that
can
would
you
hurt
go
their hustle,
meet your
right?
favorite players, and bump elbows, all that stuff with them, but dude, if they're not shooting, a lot of them will schedule one-on-one sessions, and
Yeah.
and
Oh, I agree.
do that with your favorite quarterback.
There's no other
Right.
sport on the planet where you can go rub elbows
With
the
the best of
world's
the best quite as easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Well,
true.
let me give you an example of that, okay? I have never had a pro who was in the pool room putzing around tell me no when I asked them, do you want to play some 5 a game, winter break, rack your own 9-ball? They all
Right.
say yes, man. And I played Tyler Styler, Rob Sayers. I played a lot of guys because what you're basically saying is, I will buy you dinner tonight, but I'm not going to come to dinner with you. You know,
Right.
just that's what
Yeah,
they
you
hear
don't,
me
you
say
don't have to
when
do
you
the
say that.
awkward part at the
Let's
end.
play
Yeah.
5 a game, winter break, rack your own 9-ball. They're like, yeah, I'll run 20 racks on you and then go buy myself dinner. This is a great deal. And you get to play these guys for $100 at 5 a game. It's a great deal. And if
So
you
what
know
you're
pool
saying
players,
is,
you know I'm right too. You know, you're hearing this and going, yeah, that's what
oh
they
yeah,
hear.
yeah,
They
yeah.
do that.
So what you're saying is, if you're afraid to tell a pro that you want to gamble for some money, you just walk up and you go, steak or burger. So it's either $10 a game or $5 a game.
I'm serious. You can watch them process what you just said, and they're like, winter breaks. Well, that's me. Rack for yourself. Okay, I'll give myself good racks. 9-ball. I'm very good at 9-ball.
I'm very
Yeah.
good at 9-ball. I like, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm very good at that, Kim. I like
They're
that.
like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, and I don't know who the hell you are, so yeah.
Right. And like I say, this is when they're putzing around. You know, they know what's happening. You want to rub elbows with the pro, and you're willing to give them 60 or $100 for it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, look, just
Anyway.
be smart, right? So if you ever go to Derby or a tournament and the guy loses, give him 15 minutes before you engage.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Definitely
Right?
space.
Good God, I can't tell you how many times I've seen somebody just get all up in somebody's face, and it's like, oh, this is.
Yeah, just
And
give
for the
them a
most
minute.
part, the players behave really well.
Yeah.
But as a fan of pool, and I've been a player, when the player loses, give them 15 minutes before you go up and go, hey, can I get an autograph? Or, the last thing they want to hear is how great of a fan you are and you really love them because they just got their ass kicked
Yeah.
or whatever,
Yeah.
and they played bad. Give them 15 minutes and then step in.
Right.
And then go away. Don't fanboy on them and hang with them all day.
Don't get
you know?
creepy. Yeah,
Yeah.
don't get creepy.
Don't make it weird. You know.
Don't make it weird. That's my watchword for life, man, right there. Don't make it weird.
I mean, just a little bit weird.
I
Yeah.
say
Well,
that
I
to
mean-
myself 100 times a day.
Yeah. You have to reserve weird for there's a time you have to use weird to get some people to go away.
Yeah.
Right, yeah,
That's
true.
really the only acceptable
That's
time to make
right.
it weird.
I'm gonna tell you a story. Efren, yeah, everybody wants to be with Efren, right?
Right.
And we're at Derby City, and Efren just won his match, and Efren would always come up, and he'd get Efren win, and he'd get ready to go. But this dude is standing there, right? And he's all excited. This dude is excited. Here comes Efren, right? And Efren stops and he signs a pool ball and a shirt or something. And back then, Diamond used to have these posters. I think they still have them, but they sell out really quick. And all the people try to get all the players to sign it. And this guy's just standing there, right? And he's standing there waiting. And Efren gets there and he's like, "Can I?" And the guy almost can't speak. He's so excited. But basically, he asked Efren, "Can I get a picture with you?" So they step back, and some guy steps in front to take the picture. And this guy reaches around Efren and puts his hand on his waist like you would with a woman, right? And the funny thing was, Efren did one of those kind of hip slide away from him. because it just caught him off guard that this guy just kind of like put his arm around him at the hip. Usually it's like on the shoulder, right?
Yeah.
It was just funny. But you guys are the ones that said don't let it get weird. That was weird.
It just, you
Yeah.
know, you got a little.
I mean, he
uncomfortable.
stayed there and got the picture, but it was pretty funny. He just kind of
So let me tell my Efren picture story, okay? I got a friend of mine that is always saying, man, you got to get a picture with Efren, Mike. And I've tried to explain to him how not into it Efren looks when he takes that picture, okay? Finally, a while ago, somebody posted their Facebook picture with Efren, proud of the picture. Well, it was a horrifying. The picture should break your heart. Efren looks tired, and he's just like, "Oh my god!" And he, kind of angry. Even he's just like, and he's a little old guy at this point, And
right.
and I screenshotted that and sent it to my buddy and said, "Dude, this is why I don't ask Efren for a picture." And he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god!" Yeah, that's
Right.
how every picture looks like with Efren. Not every, but a lot of them, man. Dude, leave the guy alone. Jesus.
Yeah.
I communicate with them from a distance. When I get done with my shift, it's breakfast time. So when they get to the desk and I leave, go around to get breakfast, it's Efren and the guy he hangs out with. They're
Right.
sitting there eating. I'm 30, 40 feet away. We make eye contact and I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. Done. That's probably the best interaction he's gonna have all day. I didn't talk to you. You didn't have to talk to me.
Right.
I'm not coming up to you. We're good.
And we acknowledge that we're both humans.
Yeah.
We're good.
Rick, Rick, I never
That's so
told
much
you,
better.
after I played Efren, for some reason, his manager guy decided that I was, one, a good guy, and two, somehow a behind the scenes guy that knew what was going on. And he starts asking me questions about stuff. And there's a barrier there, a language barrier. He's trying to call. Somebody wanted to know how to get on the AccuStats stream. Somebody in the Philippines, basically. And he's asking me, and I'm like, yeah, I'll try and help you with that. But he just decided that I was a good guy and that I was with BadBoys and I was going to help him.
Well, all he
For the rest of the
knew
tournament,
was you were the world
I was
famous
his
Mike
guy.
G, and he figured
Yeah.
that was enough to get him whatever, wherever. Yeah, no,
He's like, this guy's
that's the
got
guy.
juice,
That's the
man.
guy.
Right.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And sometimes that works.
Yeah, no, that's
60%
funny.
of the
It
time,
does,
it works
actually.
every time.
Yeah.
Yep. Very true.
Speaking of pictures and smiling and not smiling, did you guys notice John Dawson posted a picture of him and Earl after the Moscone Cup stuff? He ran
Yeah,
into him later in the
I
day.
saw it.
And Earl
I
had the
didn't.
biggest smile on his face, and I thought that was cool.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys
John
got to see.
Dawson. Not John Barton, John Dawson.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
I
yeah.
Did you guys
that.
see his post, Earl's post, his apology of his performance and stuff?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I just wanted to bring that up because it was probably the last time we'll talk about it, but
Yeah.
I really think it's awesome that Earl played at the Moscone Cup. It didn't go his way, but I think all the signs of how bad he wanted to win is right there in front of you.
I think
He
it
wasn't
humbled
happy
him.
when he missed, but he didn't act like the fool that most of us have seen him do. He totally changed his personality for this event. He was supportive of all the other players. And that's stuff we just haven't seen out of Earl for 10, 15 years, right?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I think
hats
it
off to
definitely
Earl and Team
definitely
USA.
humbled him.
Hopefully next year they'll kick some ass.
Dude, I saw
it.
it. I saw it as a screenshot. I don't remember who posted it, but apparently Mike Siegel kind of did a whole call out about he thinks he should be captain next year. And he's got a lot to offer. I'm sitting there going,
Mike
oh,
Siegel?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how you're a young puppy. I don't know how much you know about Mike Siegel, but
I can't stand to watch him play pool.
he's very Earl Strickland-ish.
Yeah.
It's when he misses, it's never his fault.
Right.
He's the first person I ever saw break a cue, actually.
Well,
Yeah.
hey, I just got to say, because we're here doing this, it's neat that Earl was on the team, but I do maintain America had a wild card novelty pick. Europe did not have a wild card novelty pick. We got the shit beat out of us.
Yeah.
I just need to say that out loud.
Yeah.
Nope.
Really, we didn't get our ass kicked until the last day. And the last day was ugly.
Yeah.
It was just ugly. That match between Jason Shaw and Shane was some of the ugliest pool I've ever seen.
I agree.
At a pro level.
I don't know what either of them
I'm-
were doing,
I don't-
honestly, for a minute there.
I'm gonna stay with it. I don't like the 4-inch pocket.
Well, yeah.
Rick,
don't.
that's
my
what I was
rant.
just gonna say. I mean, don't you have to go back to the pockets on that? And those pockets can make you gun shy too. So I mean,
Yeah, no,
I'm
they
not saying
changed the
every
game,
shot
dude.
would have went, but I'm saying it gets in your head, man.
Yeah, they changed the game.
Right. I guess another question I would have about that. Do you think that the people at home or in the audience, that it makes any difference to them that the pockets are tighter? I mean, we would notice loose pockets. Like if they're stupid
It's
loose,
all
playing.
perception and bullshit, dude. I think it's just all perception and bullshit. If that pocket's 4.25 or 4.5, well, I think it's just a little better game. I like the safety play, but I also think if you made it called pocket, you could definitely change how the game's played.
Oh,
and it'd still
definitely.
be played like a
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, I think the problem is they have competing goals or interest, like things they're trying to achieve with different things.
Yes,
'Cause,
Kenny.
like they want it to be cool and visual, but they also want it to be, hard to make the shots. But then they also, want to be able to slop in. So it's like these are all interests that are pointed in like different
They
directions.
want to make it hard, but they want to relate to every man. No, you're right,
Right?
Kenny.
Yeah, it's like
a
okay,
dichotomy of
I think it's
interests.
a little incoherent and probably should, a different examination of like.
I think
So-
yeah.
for
They need
sure.
to look
agree.
at it that way, right?
I
Like, you
compare
need
it
to look
to-
at it and go, if I do this, this is the argument I have with a lot of associations. You go, ooh, I want this, and then you go, this is why I want it, but
What's it
what's going to
actually-
be the
yeah.
result of that?
Yeah.
You know,
I compare
Because
it
you
to
want the game to be tougher, then
yeah.
what happens when you make it tougher?
Yeah.
Do you change the game? Is it going to look bad? You can't just when you change something, you can't just go,
the
it's
term
going to
you're
do
looking
this,
for
because it's not going to do just that ever.
is
There's going to be a million
intersectional.
things it's going to do, right? It's going to affect the shots, the safeties, the kicks, the caroms, the banks. It's going to change everything. But then you don't even bother with balls being shit in the pocket. If you
Yeah.
wanted to make it
Right.
tougher, why do you allow that?
Right.
I don't understand. And it's real simple. If they shit it and spot it back up, the other guys get to shoot or something. I mean, you can't say you want to make it tougher and then allow slop to happen. That don't make no sense to
Yeah,
me.
like I said, competing interests. Like, yeah, the
Measure
goals are
it all
unaligned.
out. Don't just go, I want it because of this. It's a great example for a league player, right? Is like, well, I want this division. Okay, well, for what? Well, because these people don't get treated special or something. Okay, but then what's going to be the result of creating that division? Well, now there's less people in the other division because you're moving, right? You have to make sure that all the moving parts can still function.
Or here's a clearer example of that. So
Yeah, there you go. Kenny, clear it up for me.
You want a division because this group of players you want to set it because they're not. Let's say it's a junior women's or whatever, right? And you're like, okay, cool. We want to create a junior women's division. That's cool. But then what happens is, well, you only have like 7 or 8 players. Well, okay, now they're not playing much, right? Like, so you've done a thing where you've like sectioned out, you've done a thing for this group, but it's separated them from everyone else. So they have less fun, they're not participating as much. There's a lot of things like, or smaller pockets, right? Okay, well, now it's harder to make balls. So when I schedule a tournament, people don't realize that's going to affect the match times. So now instead of the average game taking however many minutes, it takes 2 minutes longer. So now every round is like 15 minutes longer. And then, you get to the end of the day, you've lost a whole round, right? Like these little things that people want to do
Cause and effect.
will have all sorts of broad reaching effects, or like changing the race. That's a good one. They'll do, we're just going to make the race in Scotch doubles 1 game more. Well, actually, you're not making it 1 game more. You're making it potentially 2 games more, right? Because
you didn't think it
yeah,
through.
it's like, and then
in the real world terms, this is solving depression with alcoholism. It's not actually fixing the problem. It's creating different ones.
Yeah, you're creating different. Yeah.
Yeah, like I quit smoking. I started drinking.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
No, I agree.
hey, we want the balls to be easier to see, so let's change the colors, but we reversed the 4 and the 5.
I still don't understand why that's a thing.
Yeah.
I'm so confused.
Who made that set of balls? Who made the set of balls where they're changed?
Those are Aramith.
They're Aramith balls.
My God, why would they do that?
I don't think Aramith made the choice.
I think they were ordered. Somebody else bought them or requested them be made by Aramith.
I also thought it
Aramith
was
sells
funny
balls, so what
I thought it was funny too that we've done all these different colors of cloth, and it looks like maybe the best color for cloth is slate.
Yeah.
There's a reason.
The balls look good on it, man.
Yeah.
Diamond spent a lot of money. Yeah, but I don't care about. I don't give 2 shits what the balls look like on the cloth. Diamond spent money and time and effort to get that blue color for a reason. And that reason is you can see the edges of the balls better. Now, y'all can say whatever you want, but how many times was a cut either overcut or massively undercut by the world's greatest pool players at the Moscone Cup?
Interesting.
Think about that for a second. Right? So that blue cloth that Diamond had was so you could see the edges of the balls better and your eyes didn't get as tired.
Yeah, it's easier on the eyes.
A long time.
Interesting.
Now, I'm just telling you, what I saw at the Moscone Cup was a bunch of undercut and overcut balls, which would tell me they weren't seeing the edges good.
Yep. No, I agree, man.
Just a thought.
Yeah. So we haven't even touched on the Olympics thing, but I think we've hit every reason why pool's not in the Olympics.
Yeah, well, I mean that we can do a whole episode on why pool's not in the Olympics. And I'll try to make some phone calls and send out some notes and try to get some better details on it.
Well, pretty much. Let's fix all of this. Let's work on us before we get in a relationship with anybody else.
Yeah, I know there's a lot with the Olympics. There's a lot of technical things too. Like, I'm pretty sure you have to have an overarching like association, or like a global association, that like unifies the rules, and
which
don't really
it's kind of the WPA.
I mean,
but they've kind of lost some cred, and
plus all the other problems we've kind of already touched on that are
There's a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, look, we can't even agree on specs for a table,
right?
Right. I mean, how are you gonna have a world tournament at the Olympic level when everybody wants to have their own game, their own rules?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see pool in the Olympics, but I'm not entirely sure what all that would do for pool at the moment, right? Like, I mean, the big thing would be bringing in fresh bodies, but we haven't figured out how to make pool that watchable for people who aren't in the know of the game already. So I don't know if I mean it's not working for
I don't know about that argument, because curling's a great example of
God. That's the one I was thinking of, Rick.
Nobody did curling, and then when you go and you watch it in the Olympics, the Olympics gives it some credibility, right? So
right, but
what is this? It's in the Olympics. It's got to be interesting.
So I don't know. I've got mixed feelings, but I think it would be great to see eventually. But I'm not sure it's in the cards for a while, and I'm not sure what it would.
Well, it's not going to ever happen as long as we have everybody individually thinking they own this part or that part. Like I said,
Right.
if everybody started working together for the purpose of pool instead of the purpose of their ego.
Yeah. So in the motorcycle world, all the clubs get together and they have their own little coalition to help get everybody on the same page.
Yep.
You know, my events don't overstep your events if they're, you know, motorcycles totally different, but you know,
Yeah,
there's pro events and there's amateur events, and people are getting, you know, butthurt because they're on the same weekend. Well, it's two totally different pools of customers, and there's only so many weekends in the year.
right.
So, you know, it's gonna happen.
Well, and with pool, it's maybe a lot of people don't get this, but in the amateur pool world, well, here I'll make it easier. For the pro world,
You got crowns?
they're trying to make a living. Okay.
Right.
So work about scheduling. You got a whole year to schedule. For the amateur world, the people that are out doing amateur tournaments, we got basically September to the end of May. That's it.
Mhm.
It's really not a good thing to do amateur pool tournaments in the summer
Because people are
Right.
doing
because
summer
they're the
stuff.
working people. They got
Yeah.
jobs, and when they're not at their job, they want to go on vacation. They don't want to go on vacation when it's snowing. They want to play pool when it's snowing.
Right.
It's cold outside.
So,
it's
but
warm in
these
the
are
damn
things. If
pool.
everybody in the pool, all the big dogs in the pool world would go sit down and have a what do they?
Oh wow.
Yeah, the summit like the governments have. We
Yeah.
need to have one of those for pool. The billiard summit, and sit down and talk about these things.
Yeah.
Because if we could all get on at least halfway on the same page, we could make pool something special.
Right.
But
And,
us, bad boys, standing right here telling everybody that, it's
Yeah.
already pissed off 6 or 7 of those people going,
So-
who the hell does bad boys think they are to tell us what we should and shouldn't do? And that's the problem with pool right there. I work with
Yeah.
anybody that wants to make pool better.
I've certainly have and do work with people I do not interpersonally get along with.
Yeah, I don't have to like. I don't have to
I
like
do
you.
not
to,
have to like you to work with
I
you.
promise you, I don't
That
have
is
to like
a
you to work with you.
thing. I am
But if our
capable.
goal is the same thing, then yeah, let's do it.
Except you, and you know who you are.
Yeah, except you.
You know who you are.
That you right there.
And
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
only watching right
you.
now because you think I might say something about you.
That's funny.
Are we red button time?
No,
Yeah,
and
I
now
think
the
so,
deeper part
guys.
of that joke is there's more than one. So all of y'all 3 or 4 or 5 guys that think you're the guy we're talking about, y'all get together and find it out.
You all get together
Hey,
and sort it out.
On that, I'm signing off, everybody. Thanks for joining us and watching Out of Pocket with Bad Boys. Ric Jones, Kenny Jones, Koby Pilgrim, Mike D. Check out our sponsors too. Hustlin', Littman Lights, Diamond Billiards Products, OBQs. Yeah.
JB
What?
cases.
JB
Cases.
cases. Yeah.
Hustling.
Good
That's
job.
the latest and greatest. This
Hey,
week.
I'll talk to you guys on Messenger.
All
right,
red
sounds
button,
good.
man.
I'm
Red button.
exhausted.
Yeah.
Red button, Mike.
Later, guys.
Red button.